Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Gloomhaven, where today we have a lot of administrative work to do before we set out into the sewers. First of all, I suppose let's have our city encounter. You're relaxing at the Sleeping Lion when an immaculately dressed man approaches your table, a fake smile plastered to his face. Ah, you must be the mercenaries everyone is talking about, yes? My name is Lord Greymane. Woof. Woof, just straight off of the cliche list of fantasy lord names. And I have a delicate matter to discuss. May I sit? You gesture to his chair and he sits with a faint grimace. I am transporting some valuable goods this evening from one of my warehouses, and I have reason to believe that some of the less desirable elements of the city wish to steal from me. I would like to hire you to help guard the undertaking. Why is neither of the options do some fucking legwork? Like, hey, we'll get back to you. Go figure out what this guy's about. Here's the thing. He could be transporting, this could be human trafficking. You know, I don't know this guy, and generally, don't trust rich people. I have much better things to do. What? -1 prosperity? This is your night off, and you're going to spend it drinking. No, I'm not going to spend it drinking. I'm going to spend it going into the sewers. In the morning, you hear the news that a shipment of rare minerals bound for the capital was stolen in the night. People are calling it a huge blow to the economy of the town. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It does seem to not actually have lowered the prosperity at all. Maybe once you reach a wealth level, you can't ever lose it. So, hey, no downside. I kind of figured that, so far this game has been the most, narratively, it's just everything is the most paint by numbers, baby's first fantasy story. And so I figured that we probably were supposed to protect the goods, but fuck rich people. That's basically what that came down to. All right, we have stuff to do. First things first, I want to check out the shop. Let's check out the new stuff that's at the merchant. Some of it's very expensive. During your turn, refresh one of your consumed items. Okay, so the empowering talisman can give you back a potion. That seems pretty good. Cloak of Pockets gives you 2 additional bag items. That bag symbol is the small items symbol. During your single target melee attack action, you can, extend the attack to an extra space. That's pretty good. Add Immobilize to a single ranged attack. And this one is only an exhaust, so you get this one back on long rest. That's kind of cool. Also, everything has a 1 coin discount. Huzzah. During your ranged attack, ignore all shield values for the entire attack action. This would work. The way this is worded, this would allow Fire Orb to ignore shielding on all 3 of the targets, right? Because it is just a ranged attack. It's a little silly, but whatever, it's fine. The beginning of a round, after all cards have been revealed, increase or decrease your leading initiative value by 10, and it's just a tap. Add +2 move to a single movement. You know, honestly, Boots of Striding on the Brute and maybe also on the Cragheart, not be terrible. A mana potion. This is an interesting way to conceptualize a mana potion within this system. And when I say an interesting way, what I mean is it's not mana. Just give this a different name. That's very weird. Stun powder. Stun powder seems very good. So it says to a single attack, and this is a single-use item. Would this work on, Dirt Tornado? It is a, I guess it's a little bit overkill. Dirt Tornado's already muddling everybody. Yeah, that's interesting. I think... part of me definitely wants to take the Boots of Striding on Billy. I guess Billy's deck isn't so bad for movement, right? We have like a fair number of move 3s. Yeah, he's not having the problem nearly as much as Nice is now that we've sort of reshaped Nice's whole situation. So let's get some Boots of Striding for you. I do think it's a little bit of a bummer that there's no buy and equip. Like, I would like it very much if there was a button where you click on the thing and it's like, buy item, buy and immediately equip item, and cancel, right? Because how often are you actually going to buy an item and then not equip it? And then, like, do we want to tack on some... So this is another small item. She already does not have room for other small items. We can get her a Cloak of Pockets, but it's still starting to be a lot of money. And I don't really know what we are... what we're walking into here. Do I think there are going to be a lot of shield values shooting at oozes in the sewers? Probably not. Probably not. I might just bank money for her for a moment. She doesn't really seem to need all that much. Stuff is going very well. I suppose there's an argument for a mana potion, but again, like I really want her to be carrying a stamina potion, and yeah, all right. We'll just bank money, maybe for both of them. So what slots do you still have open? You could take a legs item, you could take a potion because I can't equip you with 2 copies of the same potion. I mean, that's actually interesting. Honestly, the ability to drop an air symbol whenever you want is certainly interesting. Might be worth it. Yeah, actually. And it gives him some versatility to create symbols for other people as well. I actually like that quite a bit. Okay. I think that's all the shopping we need to do. We probably don't need blessings right now. Is this all that the temple ever does? I mean, it's certainly not bad. It's especially useful early on for just sort of like weighting your deck in a positive direction, considering how bad the starting decks are. But I think for the moment, let's just hold off and let's see about these city sewers. Sorry, let's create a new mercenary, and then let's see about these city sewers. I do want to pursue one more class. So you're melee focused. You're kind of a weird range support. We're no longer all that small of a team. Yeah, okay. Kind of curious about a tinkerer. Let's see. So, obviously there are a lot of famous tinkerers in fiction here. You know who this is? I think we have finally found Uncle Trapspringer. The canonical Uncle Trapspringer. Ooh, that is a class I do not believe we are currently unlocking. I don't remember if we're doing the moon, so I think this is where we're at. Experience 2 other characters achieving their personal quests. You've never been one for the limelight. There's so much selfishness in the world, so much grandstanding. You've always preferred the background. Everyone in this town seems to have some high and lofty goal. You're just happy to help. Yeah, fair enough. All right, welcome aboard. So, I mean, we'll have a look at your stuff. Wow, you started with a lot of gold. Holy hell. Okay, maybe we do want to have a look at your cards. Oh, right, because I have to process the level up. Of course we have to have a look at your cards. Okay, so, create a 6 damage trap and an adjacent empty hex. Gain 2 XP when the trap is sprung by an enemy. We have a harmless decoy contraption or a heal. Again, these should be sorted in some way, and I would really love it if they were sorted by initiative value. Flamethrower is pretty fantastic. Also, a shield aura is not bad. Hook gun is very much like the chain and hook. The hook gun having loot 2 and then that being a burn is kind of funny. Like, this feels like a bad action to take a lot of the time. Alright, gain 1 for each enemy targeted. Create a darkness element. We have a few things that create dark element and nothing that uses it yet. Gain an XP for every enemy targeted. There's a fair amount of burning going on here as well. Stun shot is a recyclable stun, though. That's pretty cool. Recover all their discarded cards. Okay, top action heal and bottom action heals. There's actually a lot of healing going on in this deck. Alright, just like a normal attack. You and all adjacent allies add to all of your attacks this round. That's pretty fun. A way of generating earth element, as well as a bottom of card ranged attack. And the things we don't have equipped are 2 targets, attack 2. This seems pretty good, especially on 34. It's pretty good to not have in the basic deck. Create 2 1-damage poison traps in adjacent empty hex. The way that's worded is a little strange. I'm assuming they mean in, there are 2 different hexes and you put 1 trap in each. The way it's worded there, you would be putting both of them in the same hex. 1 ally within range 2 may recover 1 of their discarded cards, or up to 2 if you have a frost element. If the concoction is frosty. Your next 4 heal actions, heal more, and a decent move. Okay. Well, let's pick our new card from leveling up, and we'll see what we want to do with the deck. Okay, that's fine. Feels like an effect you already have plenty of in the core cards. Ooh, a 2-target stun. Muddle all adjacent enemies and then move out is interesting as well. I have to say, I like the 2-target stun an awful lot. So throw that in the available cards, and then let's maybe mess with this a little bit, because I do feel like I want Reviving Shock. So what seems a little bit superfluous? I know this class has a lot of very fast cards. Hook gun seems a little whack because, like, it just really doesn't seem like you want enemies close to you very often. But this is a way of, like, you lay down a trap and then you move to the other side of it and then you hook people across. I kind of don't know. The decoy has 6 health, so it's gonna do an okay job of just like sucking up damage. I guess I don't hate that. What am I gonna drop? I think it might be Restorative Mist. We might just have too many heal effects going on. And this keeps a bottom of action heal, but I want that Reviving Shock attack. Okay, and then we probably do want to play Disorienting Flash. So if we're gonna do that, Ink Bomb is an attack 4. It's a group attack 4. I don't think we should drop Ink Bomb. I really like recover all their discarded cards. That's like very cool utility. 6 damage trap is super fun. Enhancement field's cool in theory. I wonder how often we'll be in position to take advantage of that. I'm gonna try using the Tinker more as sort of like a mobile striker, and not try to keep him close to everybody else necessarily so much, especially the melee. So hopefully that'll make sense. You gotta make some choices. You gotta lose some stuff. You probably want eagle eye goggles. Fair number of things there where eagle eye goggles would be helpful. And then what else? Probably like stamina potion. Yeah, I don't think that seems like an okay start. Oh, we get to start with a perk too. Cool. Replace the -2 with a +0 is definitely interesting. Lacerate's hard to pass up. We're going to take Lacerate. Okay. And with that, I think we're ready to actually do the mission. I think we've done all the things we need to do. Giant Viper, Ooze, Vermling Scout. And the Ooze is... yeah, 3 oozes. We still have to figure out what a lurker is. But we're getting pretty close to fulfilling one of our personal quests. It's a shame. I feel like Billy is probably the best character on the team. Once I would have said nice. They're both pretty strong.
From the center of the Silent Bridge, a city guard points you to a grating underneath the west side. That's the best way into that hellhole. Good luck.
Thanks for your enthusiasm. I do appreciate that they drew the gross grating.
It takes a bit of climbing, but you eventually make your way down to the grate, which has been twisted and broken over the many years. You light a torch and step inside, following a narrow path up a slight incline, avoiding the stream of brown liquid running in the opposite direction. After a few minutes, the path opens up into a series of branching passageways. You start to look around, deciding on which way to go, when hissing sounds echo through the stonework toward you. You hold fast to your weapons, straining to see multiple slithering shapes approach.
Okay. Allow none of your allies to become exhausted is pretty tricky. Indigent is usually not too hard, especially for somebody who can attack reliably at range. We have no idea how many enemies we're looking at here, but their health is pretty low overall. I might be able to pull off Streamliner with Billy. 13 experience is tough. I feel like that's a pretty good pick for like that number's attainable, but you really don't feel secure. I'll take Streamliner. Cause a trap to be sprung or disarmed on your turn or on the turn of one of your summons. I guess I don't trust the other one there. Oh, and Uncle Trapstringer's not getting a perk point. Yeah, it just doesn't seem very likely. So we'll take Hoarder, whatever. Those ones are not among the easier to finish. Getting down from 12 active cards to 3. There are a lot of burns. I suppose there are a lot of burns in the deck. Maybe we could have done that. Alright, it is to our benefit to allow Billy to pull the killing blow on as many of the oozes as possible. Unfortunately, none of them are fatal advanceable. And this is so many vipers. I have to say I'm a little shocked at the number. Just the raw viper count is very high. So there are a couple of places here where we can get a four target dirt tornado. 4 out of 7 is pretty good. If we're willing to wait a turn, we might be able to use the bottleneck to get an even denser one, though. So the best move here might be Massive Boulder to set up the element. As like stand here and Massive Boulder that one. Let's see what we can get out of that. So if I'm gonna do that, then It doesn't really matter how I move forward. I only need 2 spaces. Do I maybe want to just start you in that tile? Okay, there is a little bit of difficult terrain. Most of it isn't, though. I think I am going to just start you in that tile. You... I can't believe it doesn't let you swap people. How much health do you start with? 9, okay. Yeah, that's not so bad. Alright, so this might be... I don't know if I do even want to move. Hell, maybe I actually use the bottom part of Unstable Upheaval as the bottom part of Unstable Upheaval. I don't usually do stuff like that, but... Okay. Then... which approach do we want? I could, of course, go for a skewer or even a leaping cleave. Just like move forward 2 and leaping cleave on these ones. And if I'm doing that, it feels like we can maybe make it like shield bash into the leaping cleave, just the walk 2 off of shield bash. Go nice and early and not be spending too much until we get the enemies to group up. Do we see... There don't appear to be any... Oh no, there's a door here. Yeah, there's more tiles. Okay. This would be a great time to aid from the ether for sure. Just like get a friend established as quickly as possible. And 1, 2, 3. I would love something that has 4 range, but we don't really have anything like that anymore. So I might just mana bolt. But like, we can afford to do this pretty late. We'll just see who's still available if we wanted, in fact, to do anything at all. And if we're going to waste the top half of a card, I think mana bolt is a fine one to waste. And you... Reviving Shock, range 3. This thing is gonna still be alive. I don't honestly know about this one, so I don't want to like overcommit on that sort of thing. It might be a good idea to just do a relatively long range single attack here, not blow anything like super big or powerful. Or I could my plan could be to step forward and do Reviving Shock. Something like that. Actually, I don't hate that. But I think I want to go pretty late, actually. Let's lead Harmless Contraption. I'm going to let these 2 move up. We'll see how things shake out movement-wise. And then the ranged will have their day. Okay, just about how we would have expected. Add +2 to the attack if the target is adjacent to any of the Giant Viper's allies. Okay, so they have some pack tactics kind of noise. You get to... Oh, you have proper ranged attacks. Interesting. Alright, well... I think I am going to shield 2. Alright, enjoy. Hopefully this will actually do something of value. So I'm aiming here because I'm hoping to just get a kill straight up. Show me +1. Hell yeah. Pretty good start. And you can step. And let's do some damage. Do we stun? We don't need to... I don't need to Warhammer here because we have the shielding and everything. Like, okay. It's a pretty good open. You really feel the improvements to the attack dex. Okay, -2, -2. Unfortunately, the poison sticks. Yep, and they're all gonna just kind of like slither in. Come on, you know you want to go forward. Oh, what is this cowardice? Well, whatever. We can fight them there. Definitely armor a point of that. Yeah, I mean, this is still a good dirt tornado, but I was really hoping we'd be able to get like 6. Okay. Then you have 2 targets in range 3. You can just start shooting. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna use my goggles just yet. Okay. Just clear that poison and we'll see if it remains cleared for very long. And you, I don't think I want to consume the element. First turn Mystic Ally is going to be great for sure. And then there's the question, like, do we just go ahead and Power Core right away? My only concern is that if I Power Core right now, the Steel Construct might have a really hard time getting into a meaningful position. I think I'd like to move out of the corner a little bit more first. Okay, so we're gonna Rumbling Advance and Dirt Tornado. I would love to... I don't actually know... So the Rumbling Advance is only going to get me to here, right? Do I have... I don't. But I can Boots of Striding. I will probably Boots of Striding to get to here to land the best possible version of this thing. I think the Brute probably is done with the snakes for the moment. Is just going to fully commit. So I think what we want to do here is... oh, I spent Leaping Cleave already. Right. Because we actually had the ability to do the leaping part. Well, that being the case, I probably want to just go later in the turn. Yeah, I probably want to just take my turn a little bit later. Let's see if somebody can clean this up. So, what would be a good, strong, kind of generally useful play? I mean, Hook and Chain is hard to... It's hard for Hook and Chain to be the wrong move. You're going to get value out of one of the halves of that. And then, like... Trample? This is like this is the lay back, take it easy turn. While the rest of us figure this shit out. So I definitely want to move forward. But I think I want to go... Yeah, I want to Icy Blast. I would like to go after the Crag Heart, so maybe it's like the move from Flame Strike. I want to go like close after. And then you, I have no idea what the table's going to look like after those 2 attacks, and I do want you to follow them. So maybe your play is like... something versatile. Toxic Bolt's not bad as something versatile. And then, like, what's the other half of your turn? We probably want you to do the other half first. I would like for you to go a little bit later. Okay, proximity mine is good. Is good movement. All right, let's see how this works out. So, I'm going to move 2 with these boots of striding to get to here. Get a free point of damage. Sort of seems like throwing a tantrum. And then it feels like it's got to be this, right? It's actually quite a large amount of damage. We end up with 4 muddles. That feels strong. That feels right. Here's a question. Do I stamina potion the dirt tornado immediately? I'm not going to. Because we're going to do the other... yeah, it's fine. We're going to do the other AoE. Like, we don't know what things are going to look like yet. Okay, not too bad. Poison reasserted. Ouch. I think I'm just going to take it. Oh, yeah, that's really lovely. Okay. So... we do want to take just a move 2. And then... Icy Blast here, or... like, I'm getting 4 targets. The question is which 4 targets? It is only to attack, and muddling the ooze probably makes sense. And on this one, I think I will goggles. Okay. Strong outcomes. This feels like the place to power core. Oh, right. You can't summon into a tile that has anything in it. Shoot. Well then, never mind. Okay, so now I could hook and chain to here, followed by a trample. We could really remove some spiders. Spiders? These are not spiders. The other option is just a 2-point move. Like, I could also hook and chain to here, despite the fact that this does not give me the bonus attack, so that I can start working on the slimes, right? I do want to get those slimes taken care of. Yeah. Especially with Pierce, like... you're muddled. I don't want to stun you. Not a bad start. Not a bad start. If I heal 3 right now, it is just going to remove the poison, right? I'm going to hold off on that. Pardon me. That's fine. 2 points is fine. Okay. Oof. Yeah. All right. So I would like to Toxic Bolt for sure. Just to set the... You're supposed to loot gold piles. So yeah, maybe we move to here. I don't want to move any deeper than this, do I? I mean, I could go all the way up to here and, like, shoot at the ooze. It's not really what I was thinking. But the poison would be helpful. The ooze is not immune to poisons. No. Alright. You're pretty squishy, but we'll figure it out. Okay, nothing but the poison. But that's fine. Also, you are supposed to pick up an awful lot of gold. Okay, so it's pretty important at this point that we remove some of these spiders. This might be like opposing strike forceful storm. Hope that we go before it and just melee crush it to death. The other thing that I might do is like sentient growth. I like opposing strike forceful storm as long as, you know, it gets done in time. And we can absolutely just play the forceful storm as walk 2 if we have to. All right, you don't have access to air, but we could change that. This would be a pretty good time to have access to air. Let me figure out how we're gonna give you air. It's gonna have to be her creating it. I mean, it basically has to be this, right? I need to top half of Freezing Nova. So like ride the wind to here, and then Freezing Nova this guy consuming the ice element. So then you have to go after 21. And if that's the case, then we could lead with Spare Dagger. Okay. And then we just have the Tinker, who is in snake fighting mode. I don't think this is the time for Flamethrower. This actually might not be a terrible time to Hook Gun. Like, Hook Gun the far slime. Pull it adjacent not to me, but to the brute. And then, what are we talking about bottom half? Probably after doing that, just like step backwards some, because, you know, it's not going to be a very safe place to be anymore. And if we're going to do that, I obviously want you to go after the brute's turn. I think we're not going to use Flamethrower before we rest. That's my feeling. I guess I'm like assuming that Viper's going to be dead. And there's no reason really for me to assume that. You know what? This does seem like a good time to power core. I might be able to make it true. I might be able to force it to be true if I Freezing Nova the Viper. The utility of the Viper being dead would be significant. Yeah. All right, I'm going to put myself in harm's way here. This does target all adjacent enemies. It is a Nova. So actually this is more damage. I always think of it as just like a single target melee attack. Yo, the wound. The wound came up at a nice moment. Okay, so let's start with the skewer, see what we can get to. This might be Warhammer time. We don't know what's in the other room, but I'm going to go ahead and Warhammer here. Okay, so we got a stun on the survivor. Well, there's going to be lots and lots of gold piles to be picked up. Do you even want to move? You don't really need to. Well, whatever. I'm still going to. We do need to get some healing on this this poor bastard. I'm not going to take it right now, though. Okay, so the Cragheart's turn changes and becomes nothing. It becomes walking. It becomes not being able to move because you'll pick up loot. Yeah, there's, there's nowhere for me to stand. So yeah, this turn is literally do nothing. We could set up this thing, but I don't think we need to. I think I am in fact just going to do actually nothing. Yeah. And I don't want to use either of your items. Okay, so Tinkerer. This loots everything within 2. No, I definitely don't want to do that. Pretty bad damage, actually. But here, we'll pull you all the way to there, and then I will simply step out of the way. All right, and that's 3 piles of gold already. So if we now have you... Let's see. We want to get we want to get some healing off, right? What is going to be the best way to do that? Sentient growth would be strong. But if I don't have at least 3 points of movement, I'm not going to be able to... I either need to have 3 points of movement or somebody needs to get the hell out of my way. So I guess let's try it like this. Can you move before 38? You can't. But you can. But I really don't want you to. I want you to go second because I want to get to... Well, I guess I don't want an energizing tonic that badly, actually. I want to use reinvigorating elixir. Which means that, yeah, you just need to... You just need to move a little bit. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. In fact, I will just take the tiny move. And you can probably not do enough damage for it to mean all that much. This thing is technically able to attack this turn, so I guess provoking roar makes sense. And then, like, do I want to just go ahead and use warding strength before we step into the next room? This feels like a good time to do so. All right, and you gosh. I think this is like fire orbs as movement, reviving ether as attack. Or vice versa, but you know, just like doing, I think I'm doing a normal attack too this round with the Spellweaver. All right, let's get that disarm. I don't know how I disarmed you, but you've been disarmed. Take that. Okay. You can just move to here. This is fine. Actually, no, the heal has 3 range. I can pick up this gold pile. Make the world safer for our friend here. All right, Hoarder. It's interesting that the value, like the Hoarder is 5 gold piles, not a number that scales with the number of people in the party as far as we've seen, which is really interesting because of the fact that it means that it's going to be harder to do on lower character counts, because there wouldn't have been so many enemies, right? So what I want to do here is step to there, and then sentient growth like this. Those probably don't need to be two separate animations, right? We can start getting the healing going. And that's a kill steal. How dare you? Alright, in that case, you're not doing very much. I could open the door. And then just be in the doorway. That feels foolish. I'm going to jump to here and do nothing. Alright, somebody else can kick the door open. Probably the fighter. You know, on account of positioning. Although, maybe we're long resting first? I kind of think so. And we're not all the way out of cards. But I don't want to open the door with this, not necessarily be able to reach any enemies and then get hit a bunch of times. We'll just take a second to recover. Other people may or may not need to. Okay, you don't have any heals left. Yeah, maybe I'm doing a bunch of rests. Not everybody needs to rest. You can take move 2, and obviously we don't have a top half that's going to do anything interesting here. I guess just the top half from one of the slow cards. Yeah, maybe. These are both like really compelling run into the room and fire them off things, but let's say Ink Bomb. And you are also on long rest. They definitely want to move exactly 2 because I want to pick this up so it's out of the way of the crack card. And then, yep, skip the attack. And we sleep. Okay, what card am I losing? It is probably like... We have no idea what kind of enemies we're going to be facing, so I'm unlikely to drop the Pierce. Shield Bash, I guess? All of my cards are so good, it's actually like very difficult to make a decision. We don't have anything that doesn't feel like a huge, incredible slam dunk anymore. That's pretty fun. That's a fun place to be in. I think I'm actually going to drop Opposing Strike for him. He's going to tend to be in the back, given the way we're positioned as we're approaching. Also, I suppose at this point there's no reason not to just heal. Do I do something here? Confirm movement. It would be great if you moved. I'm allowed to tell them not to move. But I do think they should move. Okay, what are we losing? It's Freezing Nova. I have to play Burning Ether pretty soon. So I think this is like fatal advance time probably, or I don't necessarily trust hook and chain. It looks like we got a lot of distance left to cover. 3 gets me through the door at least. So I'm not bottlenecking. I kind of love the classic spare dagger fatal advance play though. You are going to approach... So 2 gets me to right here. And then I would have a 3 range stun potentially. I doubt there will be enemies within that distance. You are going to plan to move in quite a lot. We don't want a reviving ether yet. Is this the time to like load up flame or fire orbs? We'll have 4 cards in the discard pile if I burn one thing, we'll have 3 cards in the discard pile here. We only have 1 card that burns anyway. So actually, yeah, maybe we're not playing Reviving Ether this round, which means I can use it as a move here. Yeah, so we'll burn Fire Orbs, we'll play these 3, we'll lose one of these 2 on the rest, reclaim Reviving Ether, pick everything back up. That'll work. And you are sadly just taking the move 4 off of the boulder, and maybe even Boots of Striding on top of that. And if you're doing that, like Earthen Clod feels like a good follow-up. It can be earlier than that. Yeah, we could lead with the other card. That's fine. So the Tinkerer's turn is 1, 2, 3. You know what? Maybe we're using Disorienting Flash. I'm gonna kick open the door with the Tinker. She said confidently before the sudden jump cut to the credits. Here's the deal. This mission goes on a bit. Those of you who have played the game know how much is left, and it turned out that the recording was over 2 hours. So I've decided to drop a break in here. This is where we're going to call it for today. And when you come back next time, we can resolve the suspense of what exactly lies beyond the door and just how much of it there is. Spoilers, it's a lot. Spoilers, it's a bunch. It's a whole bunch. So thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time for the dramatic, brutal conclusion of the Abandoned Sewer mission, and we'll see you then.